Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Three Crones and the Woo Woo. I am your Dragon Slayer crone, Gayle Nicholson, with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting. To my side, we have the traveling crystal crone, Miss Krista Ducharme, with Dimensional Healing with Krista on Facebook. And of course, as always, supporting us from below, we have Miss Damaris Samolinski, our stargazer crone, with Ask the Genie with Damaris Samolinski. Oh my goodness, ladies, spring has sprung. It's wet like my God over here. I don't know about over in Scandinavia or the Netherlands, rather, but Damaris and I are swimming this week, right?
Oh, New York.
Yeah.
You've been swimming?
Yeah.
So currently I have sunshine. However, this morning, up until seriously about 3:30, almost 4, it was gray overcast.
Oh.
And it is cold.
Yeah. It's over here too.
It is really chilly here. I have to I honestly I don't want it to get hot. I just want it to get warm.
I agree.
Just a little.
Right?
Maybe
Yeah.
70, right? Like 70.
Mid-70s. Yeah, that's good. Huh?
Yeah, mid-70s is nice. It is. It's really nice. I'm doing something tomorrow night, at this time, believe it or not, with another group of women here.
Okay.
We're doing a special photo shoot.
Ooh.
And I'm going to be getting out of my comfort zone, actually. And we're topless, and we're only having bouquets of flowers.
You're going to have just flowers?
We're only doing just flowers, and we're going to be in an open field with flowers.
So just topless or
just topless? We have pants on. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I cheated. I went ahead and I bought myself a bra, a strapless bra, because I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go out there like topless. I'm not that comfortable doing that, but I can have a strapless bra on. But yes, I will be the oldest one in the group.
I think it's going to be beautiful as a finished product. Absolutely.
I'm sure it is. So this particular photographer, she's a military spouse here. Mm-hmm. She does all kinds of really creative photography. And so I've seen a lot of her creative photography. And I was like, you know what? This would be a really fun thing to be part of. And I think it would be great to be part of and represent the croning time. Because you see, my silver hair, my age, thankfully one of my other girlfriends who's a little bit younger than I am is going to be joining as well. So it'll be kind of fun, but I'm really looking forward to it.
You'll have a booby buddy.
I'll have a booby buddy.
Too funny. It should look beautiful though.
Yeah,
I think it will. I'll share. Maybe we'll see. No, I will. I'll share.
I'm positive it's going to be beautiful, and you are more courageous than I am.
Yes, you do.
It.
Please.
Congratulations on stepping out of the comfort zone there.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I'm stepping
too, just so they could see the end of them.
Oh, where did you go?
I'm right here.
Oh, okay, good. My computer. So I think I'm having visitors because I have to tell you, my computer keeps doing things all on its own. I'm not even helping it. This is very interesting. This particular Mercury retrograde has been quite an interesting experience for me. And now, of course, we've added Pluto into it. So, being a Scorpio, I'm really all excited.
Nice. Oh, my daughter was telling me some horror stories about Mercury this weekend. And I don't think she realized she was talking about Mercury at all. But they had to go to Nashville, and something happened where my granddaughter's ticket was reserved but not paid for. So instead of spending the price that they reserved it at, they had to pay an extra like $500+ to get her on the plane at the last minute.
Oh my gosh.
And then when they got there, it was miscommunicated at the condo they were staying at which parking space they needed to stay in. So they stayed with the one that corresponded with the apartment number that they had. Wrong one. Second morning, they come down. There's boots on the car. It's race day, and they got to get out of there. And there's like $100 fine for not being in the right spot.
Oh my goodness!
All communication issues.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's some heavy duty stuff all the way around.
My daughter
we've got going out here today. Welcome to all of the people who have joined us so far. While I wasn't looking. So welcome Harry, Ada, Joanne with Holistic Fitness, fantastic. Chris, right? Never come in on the tail end of a conversation.
No, she's probably like going, what the hell are they talking about? Flowers and boobs?
Yeah. Pays to show up on time, everyone. Pretty bold of me to say, considering we started like 3 minutes late today, 5 minutes late. Anyway, so welcome to everybody. Oh my gosh, it's been an interesting, it could be underwear. Do you remember when we used to do underwear checks?
That's right. Yeah. We haven't done an underwear check in a long time.
Right? All right, everybody, put the color of your underwear in the comments, all right?
I have to look.
I don't know if Chris knows anything about this because
you have to put that's right. She's new. Okay. I had to check what color my underwear were. Okay, everybody put the color of your underwear on.
Underwear check, yep.
Electric blue.
Mm-hmm. Now this one's me.
Gray.
Because when Krista puts hers,
pink.
Say the same. You have pink? All righty.
Yep. And then I have navy blue with flowers. I just put it up.
Aw, cool.
Yeah.
Purple. All right.
I love that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Very cool.
Yes. Doing our underwear. Oh, and another dark blue. Whoop, whoop.
Woo, Harry's.
All right.
He's not a tighty whitey kind of guy. I'm telling you.
There you go. He doesn't have that energy.
No.
Okay, so I have a really funny underwear story.
Okay.
I have to share this. Talking out of school, but it's and it's kind of funny. And Kevin will laugh. Okay. So we went to Germany this past weekend down to the Black Forest, which is in the southern part of Germany, very along the French border. And we were there for a few days, and we go into this really cool shop that has German traditional outfits, the dirndl and the lederhosen. Okay. So we're in the shop and we're looking, and as much as I would love to own a dirndl, and as much as I would love to have Kevin, in lederhosen, I'm like, I'm just not willing to invest that money. However, in the back of this shop, it had these underwear, and I'll have to see if I can find them, take a picture. Kevin was like, oh, I have to have a pair of these. So they're embroidered. They're these black and gold, and the gold is all embroidered. And I'm talking they're heavily embroidered. Mm-hmm. And we aren't talking stamped. We're talking real thread embroidery.
Wow.
Yes. So visualize not tighty whities, but the fitted boxers. Mm-hmm. They're black fitted boxers. And so going down the sides, is this ornate gold, and it kind of goes down on the sides and turns in.
Mm-hmm.
And then visualize a deer's head right smack dab in the front.
Did it have a red nose?
No, it did not have a red nose. It's like just the antlers, and oh yeah.
There's
and
a
I'm
big
just
old
like, oh my God, how? But yes, he wore them. He thought they were the funniest things. He just was like, oh my God, these are amazing. And so yeah, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, okay, honey, sure, why not?
That's awesome. The embroidery thread didn't itch.
Too funny.
No, he actually said, and they're really, really, really heavy. Heavy cotton. And so but what's really funny is he's like, no, they're actually quite comfortable. He says, I wouldn't want them in a smaller size, but they're very comfortable. I'm like, okay. So yeah, that was kind of an interesting underwear story because of the fact that they're heavily embroidered.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, thank you for letting me share.
Well, thanks to Joanne for reminding us about underwear checks. It's been a long time since we've done that.
Yeah,
it has been.
Awesome. Well, we're going to do what we can today to try and fit everything in that we've got to go on. So let's get started with Miss Damaris' segment.
Awesome.
Where'd she go? There she is.
All right. So I'm going to talk about the full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio that's happening on the 5th. So yikes, so many amazing energies happening for spiritual growth and developing ourselves and evolving. So the full moon eclipse, the eclipses are game changers. They shake us, they move us. And so I want to go a little bit back so that you understand where I'm coming from with this. So Taurus is the sign that deals with memory. It holds memory. And so whatever happened, let's say in the past, it holds the memories of past grievances, animosity, resentment, anger. And because it's opposing Scorpio takes that energy, those emotions and buries it until it's time to bring it to the surface. And so, like I said, Pluto's always digging and bringing stuff to the surface. Scorpio also has a very hard time in forgiving and forgetting. It does not, it struggles very strongly to forgive and forget. So it holds on to grudges. So I consider that energy, and obviously it's a lower vibration of Scorpio, Miss Krista. It's not the higher vibration because it has.
I know. I had to work. So true story. It is something I have had to work on quite a bit. I may not forget, but being able to forgive. And there are times that, holy mackerel, it takes me long, but I get there.
Pluto is an amazing planet, and Scorpio is an amazing sign, but there's a lot of work to be done with it. And I'm so glad that you have done the work, because it's very difficult to evolve from above the Scorpion energy level. It's a very intense emotional sign. And when it holds on to resentment, anger, and grudges, it's almost like a snake in the garden. It jumps out at you when it like you least expected, right? What happens, that what's going on is in Taurus, we have the sun in Taurus, we have Mercury retrograde in Taurus, we have Uranus in Taurus, we have the north lunar nodes in Taurus. So it's a lot going on in Taurus opposing this eclipse in Scorpio that's happening on the 5th. So it's it's going to give us an intensity to heal from those wounds so that we can grow. Because when we're holding on to anger, grudges, resentment, we don't grow spiritually. We kind of get stuck. So we need to work through this intensity and just, let whatever surface and look at it, understand it, and be able to heal it so that you can move on to the next stage of your life. Because what's happening is that all of this needs to happen individually, collectively, so that we are prepared for, all the other planetary alignments that are happening. If we're holding on to anger, resentment, and we can't forgive or forget, we want to attack and we want to sort of like have revenge. So the eclipse is helping us because, again, it's a shaker, it's a mover, it's a game changer. It's helping us clear all of that because we're holding other people. We think we're holding other people hostage, but we're also holding ourselves, so to speak. When we have, resentment and anger and we're not forgiving and we're not letting go. And so Pluto is going to make sure that we, work through all of these issues that we have. And we all have them. We all have stuff that we, carry or that we can't forgive. It's really the key to moving forward is forgiveness. And so when we look at it from the perspective that these people brought us the wrongings, right? They did us wrong, but it actually was to build character. And to help us, grow and move forward. I look at it also as an initiation, so to speak. What are you laughing at, Gayle?
Because I'm sitting over here with my moon, Scorpio is my, my moon sign, my emotions.
It's right? Your moon. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have this dark sense of humor. And I just recently, like in the last couple of years, realized how driven by that Scorpio energy my emotions are. And I don't mean along the lines of, oh, woe is me, my life sucks, I ruin every relationship that I'm in or anything like that. It's that long-term, oh, you think you got the best of me? Enjoy that feeling for a while. While I go over here, pretend like I'm completely ignoring you and set it up so your life fucking fails.
That's that snake in the garden that I'm talking about. Oh my gosh.
So let me share a higher level part of how Scorpio thinks.
No, I am the bitch that lights it on fire. You might be the phoenix that rises, but I am the bitch that lights it on fire.
I'm not saying, okay, I love that. I do love that. But here's my take on it these days. As long as I can send forgiveness, I understand what karma does. Yeah. And guess what? Karma's going to come around and bite you in the ass. Give a person enough rope, they're going to hang themselves. So I have no problem being the person that says, oh, you need a little more rope? Oh, here. Let me help you.
It's this whole eclipse has so much potential for transformation, rebirth, regeneration.
Yeah.
I also think of, like what we carried over from the past life, because obviously astrology deals with the soul level and it's, the last incarnation we carry over to this one. And so we carry from the past, we carry stuff too that obviously we didn't balance. And now it's here for us to balance it. Plus whatever else we accrue in this life. So it's like, it's a potential for us to go through this portal of healing emotionally, because really it has to do with the emotions. Obviously the moon has to do with the emotions. On another level, it also has to do with money, ownership, possession, material things, because that's what Taurus is about. Taurus has to do with all that you own. Ownership, and Scorpio has to do with other people's things, other people's money. So it's all this going on.
Want to own
what?
All the things you want to own.
Yes. But Taurus demands that you tap into your own resources. That you don't use other people's money or whatever, right? That you tap into your own. In other words, that you're not codependent. Mm-hmm. It's nice to share with other people's, possessions and money or whatever, but you still have to, pull your own weight, so to speak. So there's really a lot going on with these transits, and they all play a role as well with the Saturn in Pisces and the Pluto going, back into Capricorn in June. All of this is playing a big role for us to sort of like heal, forgive. Now, I don't like to forget. I feel like forgetting, if I forget what someone did to me, I might repeat it. So I'll forgive, but I won't forget.
No.
That's just the way I feel. I don't know how you guys feel.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily even possible to forget in a lot of cases. But as long as you aren't attached to the pain, so that, and that's the forgiveness bit. You're letting go of the pain associated in your mind and body with that event or that series of events, right? So as long as you're able to go, okay, this no longer has an emotional impact on me. It's just a passing thought. Then I think it's completely healthy to forgive and never forget.
Never forget. Yeah, I never forget, because I just feel like I may repeat it if I do. And so, and also, like, because Taurus is a memory bank, so to speak, I feel like my past experiences can help me with future interactions with people, and working with clients. It helps me like tap into that resource of what I went through, so to speak, and how I handle it, or how it came, how it the end result of it was, so that I can help other people that may be going through the same thing. So I use it as a reference kind of thing.
Keep in mind that forgiving is a function of the heart, right? We don't think or logic ourselves into forgiving people, right? It's a function of the heart. Whereas forgetting is a function of the mind. Your memory and your subconscious, which is programmed to learn from events so as to not allow negative events to reoccur.
Exactly.
And so again, we got to look at how are we going to use this functionality, this organic machine that our spirit's riding along in, right, to make it work for us rather than against us.
100%. And that's, last week we spoke about how Saturn in Pisces is helping us connect emotionally and spiritually to the self. So definitely it's about all of that too. That's connected to healing emotionally, connecting to our spiritual selves, so that we can do exactly what you just said, Gayle. And move forward to the next stage of our lives, because if not, we're stuck, and we're going to keep repeating it over and over and over until we can move past it. And so these energies, I feel, are working so much with each individual, and whatever woundings we're carrying and holding on to, Pluto is certainly going to unearth it so that we can look at it, understand it. I feel like understanding why things happened is so important as well, because when we look at it and we point fingers, we're not understanding why it happened. Usually things happen to us, either it's a karmic debt, or it's something to help us grow spiritually, and mature, become wiser. So we need that certain lesson in order to, go through the experience and be able to overcome it and have that under our belts, so to speak. So there's always purpose to the things that happen. To the things that happen. If we look at it that way.
Yeah.
So the number 5. Do you guys have any questions on what I've said?
No, I think it's pretty self-explanatory at the moment. Thank you. I probably will have questions. I usually do. Not at the moment.
That's okay. So that's that eclipse, right? That's going on the 5th. Opposing the Taurus, and everything that's in Taurus is going to help us move along. So the number 5 is all about freedom. It's about change. People, especially the life path, number 5, they want adventure. They want to explore. They want to experience all different kinds of emotions. They want to have it all. They want to have a life experience, like all of these emotions they like to go through. I don't know about you guys. I don't want to have a slew of emotions. I don't.
But no, I have an elite package of higher emotions that I like. I don't like any of the low ones.
Right? Me too. But that energy of the 5, they want to have
the
more.
box for the Goodwill. Yeah.
Yeah.
They want
There
to
you
have
go.
more.
We'll donate that. We're going to donate all the low vibes.
Yeah, 3D is really challenging, you know, and the low energy is a part of the 3D, and it's very challenging. I don't want to remain there. I really want to just move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, Damaris,
Sure.
because this just occurred to me. How is that eclipse in Taurus going to interact with the fact that Pluto's just gone retrograde? It's still in Aquarius right now, right?
Yeah.
Before it heads back to Capricorn to stay for a little while. So how is that all going to intertwine?
All right, so let me explain, right? So Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, right? I'm gonna say this slow so Krista gets it. So I want you to understand it. But Pluto is not home right now. So what does that mean? Home is Scorpio, the 8th house. Pluto is not there. Pluto is traveling. Pluto is now, still in Aquarius right now until June 11th, and then it's going to go back into Capricorn. But we're only talking about Pluto and what I was saying in the sense that Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. But Pluto itself, the planet, is transiting through Aquarius and doing what it's got to do in Aquarius. So it's almost like he's not home. Home would be the 8th house. Okay. Does that make sense?
Well, you said it's in the home is the 8th house. And where's Aquarius? What house is that?
In the 11th house.
And that's what see the 11th. So, but that's a master number. So sorry. I see. This is how my brain works.
Crossing the streams, girl. You're crossing the streams.
I am. We're gonna explode.
Tied up with the zodiac wheel.
Yeah. So what I mean, Gayle, back to the question, we're only speaking of the lunar eclipse. The full lunar eclipse is in Scorpio. And obviously, because it's in Scorpio, we also take a look at Pluto because Pluto rules it.
Right.
But the energy of Pluto is completely in Aquarius right now. It's traveling through there. So it's sort of like doing its work in the 11th house right now, not where it lives, which is where it resides, is the 8th house. Does that make sense?
Kind of. So this lunar eclipse that's in Taurus, right?
No, it's in Scorpio.
It's in Scorpio.
Closing.
So this lunar eclipse that's in Scorpio, okay, is in there doing things, right? And Pluto is over in Aquarius dealing with humanity and, having people come together.
Yeah.
Right. So, like you said, that the eclipse is helping us move along.
Yeah.
Right?
It's helping us. It's shaking us. It's helping us work through Pluto, because Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. Pluto buries all these emotions. It buried it until it's time to deal with it. With the eclipse, it's the full moon lunar eclipse. It's gonna bring it to the surface. So if something happens to you,
let me just interject this here. Where is Donald Trump being tried right now? And what witnesses are doing testimony right now?
Communication.
Just ask.
Yeah.
Just ask.
You see how it works on a collective level, right?
And
current events, right? With the current events.
Well, and the banking system.
Yes.
Did you see everything that happened? I mean, it's all kind of, and I know in a lot of people, they'll be like, but it's crisis time. I'm not sure if it's crisis time so much.
I'm not sure.
Like, I'm not getting the sense of crisis. I'm getting the sense of recalibrating. It would be, recalibration, taking things.
If you're baking a cake, the eggs will always think it's crisis time. But the cake is good.
But the cake is good. But the eggs, you're right. When you're beating them, they're not happy.
I look at Pluto, and I don't know if you ever heard of Shiva.
I love Shiva.
I look at Pluto like that. Like Shiva is the destroyer, the rebuilder, and whatever's not working, whatever's not sustainable, Whatever's not
really good
benefiting
point from
the
Joanne.
collective, whatever's not benefiting the collective, Pluto is going to fix it.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's doing.
And the banks have not been benefiting the collective for a long time.
No.
I mean, even back in like 2008, 2009, when everybody was going through some major stuff, and the banks were getting nailed for the way that they were putting through the checks through the checking accounts, big ones first, so that it would take away all of the money, and the little ones at the end would get like service fees and multiple service fees. You know,
Well, didn't get bailed. They got bailed out in 2008 when we had the market crash, right? But there's so many people
it was 2012 that they were doing that, because I remember I had in that year over $1,300 in overdraft fees before the class action lawsuit against the big banks that said you can't do that. That's essentially they were not putting the deposits in.
Yeah.
In the right order.
That's exactly right, Gayle. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So now when it goes back into Capricorn, that the retrograde, Pluto retrograde is going to, all that is going to be looked at.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all the wrongdoings, I guess, or the unethical practices, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's a lot going on, but what I want to express is that also we need to look at the self so that we can move forward. We can deal with whatever wounds from the past, grievances from the past, heal them so that we ourselves can be moving forward. Because the way I see it is we're going to have a new earth sooner or later, and we have to be prepared to then be a part of that. So that we can help the collective and we can, come into our full life purpose, if you will, of what we're doing, and help other people that may not be where we are because they haven't done the work that we have been doing. And so we really have to sort of like stand out like leaders. But if we don't balance whatever else we need to balance, then we're not going to be ready for that. And so we're going to let everything happen that's supposed to happen, and we don't have to worry about it because we weren't a part of that karma. We just have to prepare ourselves for the work that we're going to be doing. I feel we're going to be essential workers in the very near future.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to watch everything unfold.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. All right, Krista.
Boom, baby, boom.
Talk about timing. Yeah, that really wasn't good. So in any case, well, that's interesting. I looked up the crystal of the week and I said it was lepidolite.
That's next week.
It's Copal, right?
It's Copal. All right. No worries. I'm like, it's all good. It's fine. I wasn't paying attention. I've either lost a week or I'm ahead a week. Right now, my timing is just like, I'm always surprised. So no worries. So it's Copal.
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 In the game of life, Mercury is winning right now.
I know. And right now for me, it's been like, it keeps showing up in very interesting ways. But thankfully, I understand what that is and I'm okay with it. Yeah. So Copal is a younger it's an amber. Okay. It's just not Baltic amber. It's young amber. It's really soft.
Very
nice. That's a really pretty piece of.
What is that, turquoise?
Copal.
Not turquoise.
Yeah.
The reason, like Sue from Class Act Import looked at this when we all three met together.
Yeah.
And I had been operating under the idea that it was amber for a long time. It's very clearly like tree resin, right?
It is. Copal is tree resin.
Exactly. But Copal is young tree resin.
It is very young
Not
tree resin.
amber, because it's not over 100,000 years old. And it couldn't be if it's attached to the turquoise.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's American Copal, whereas amber is generally older over in Europe.
It is, and it's the Baltic, and the thing about like Baltic amber is it's the only amber that has succinic acid in it, which is really rejuvenating for our skin, and it's what our body absorbs and really resonates with, and that's why it feels really good as it warms up. But this isn't about Baltic amber; it's about Copal. So Copal
I got one little bit of trivia before I let you run with this. Because I found this really, really amazing. Because Copal is young amber, right?
Yeah.
And it hasn't aged enough to where it like hardens and is, like becomes like the rock, right?
That's right.
Copal will dissolve in nail polish remover. Amber will not. Because it's essentially it's matured, right?
Yes.
Whereas it's still soft enough to be disintegrated. Okay, sorry about that. Please go ahead.
I would never have played with either of those with nail polish remover, so that was really awesome.
It was written down. I didn't try an experiment.
Okay, well, I just still wouldn't have done it, but to each their own. I do, however, put Baltic amber in a glass of water and drink it without drinking the amber. The amber doesn't go in my mouth. I just drink. It's a gemmy water. That's what I'm saying. I, however, would not do it with Copal. Copal also is used in sacred ceremony. So you can actually burn Copal.
Yeah.
And use it in ceremony and stuff. And so what I like about Copal is that it's a cleaner. Well, that's not a nice way of putting it.
Cleanser?
Pardon?
Is a cleanser?
It is a cleanser, and it cleanses and it cleans that energy, but not like 409 or
Yeah, we understand. Energetic,
and not your favorite household product. What it does is it cleans things and opens things up in a energetic form.
Yeah,
and so. Now that, and it was really kind of funny. So maybe the reason why I brought lepidolite out today is because these two actually can work very well together. So as Damaris was talking with our full moon having an eclipse and having all this energy that's going to be happening here, and we're already starting to approach that energy, will be tomorrow, you are going to need some help with that cleansing. Copal will help with the cleansing. However, if you need to get yourself, you don't want it to be a cleansing that it's in your face kind of thing. You want it to kind of break apart gently, not so that you're on this emotional roller coaster. I'll use that word. You can add the Copal and use lepidolite because it will soften that energy. But what they both will do together, separately they do things a little bit different, but together you'll find that they will help that connection. They're going to bring the connection of self with the greater consciousness. So for Copal, it works well with the solar plexus, right? Your energy system. And and the lepidolite, it works all your chakras, but it's really especially great when you're trying to work with your intuition. And here's one of the things about Scorpio. If you don't know about Scorpio, we are highly intuitive.
Yes.
And so when things are starting to happen in Scorpio, and Scorpio's involved, intuition gets involved as well.
Yeah.
Whether you want it to be or not.
Yep.
In your intuition, it can be a knowing. It can be butterflies in your stomach. However, it can be, goosebumps up and down. However it works for you, start paying attention to it over the next few days as situations occur, as things happen, as things pop up. You may find that by listening to that and by starting to get comfortable using your intuition, that you can like project yourself forward and continue to do that. For those who feel like that they don't have, a good connection with that intuition. So Copal is really going to be great over the next few days in order, like I said, to help break up or clean what that shakeup is. I have this vision of Taurus getting a shake. When you stand on one of those machines that shakes you, that's what it's happening, is that it's shaking.
That's what the eclipse does.
Scorpio's bringing everything up, and Taurus is like going, wait. Okay, we need to deal with it.
That's
Did I do that?
I love it. You got it, Krista.
Did I get it? We need an applause button. Krista got it. So Copal's going to be great for helping to clear it away. The other thing is if you have white sage at home, folks, light it up. Light it up. Hey, but be really careful. Don't set off the smoke alarm.
That was great. That was awesome.
All right.
Good job.
And over to you, Miss Gayle.
Yes. Well, first, let's say thank you to all of our devoted Coven of Joy who support us so very, very dearly. Whether it's in this group on Facebook or on Patreon. And if you're interested in getting a little bit more me time with the three of us, come see us on Patreon. We do a exclusive show for Amethyst level members every other week, which gives you a little bit extra insight on how to do your moon magic work and so forth.
Yes.
So I am so freaking excited. I am. I hope everybody had a wonderful Beltane yesterday, or however you pronounce it. If it's not Beltane,
Beltane.
I think it's Beltane. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you, but I'm starting to get a little worried about this type of thing because, like, when I read a word first and I sound it out, it lives that way in my brain for the rest of my life, right?
I understand that.
Sometimes I hear other people saying things and I'm like, am I wrong? Have I been wrong for 30 years? This is crazy to me. Anyways. So yay, I hope everyone had a fantastic Beltane yesterday. All right, let's do this. Woo-hoo! Accepting yourself and others as a work in progress. Oh my goodness. When's the last time that you looked at somebody and went, oh, fuck?
Yeah.
There's been a lot of that this past week, ever since Mercury took a bow face. There's been all kinds of weird stuff going on, much of it having to do with communication. A lot of it having to do with communication through technology, but that in-person stuff is still going on, right? Yes. And, we need to be kinder with each other and gentler with each other with these perceived falling short, if you will, for lack of a better way to say it, right? There is so much happening that we are trying to deal with from whatever level that we can, whether it's the denser energies of, paranoia and suspicion and resentment and blame, or if it's the higher energies of forgiveness and unconditional love and all of that, right? We're all in our own little drama, if you will, right? And we're all trying to move forward, confronted at the same time with the fact that we keep coming around on the spiral. We're not coming around in a circle. We're moving one direction or the other. But sometimes we get into that space that looks familiar, feels familiar, I've been here before. I thought I healed that. I thought I was better than that, and so on.
Yeah,
It's like an onion.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's like an onion. You know, think of Shrek. Oh, come on.
Well, the onion wasn't what came to mind. It was the earwax. That's why I was like,
oh, well, you know, you could have layers of earwax. Like,
oh,
yeah, I don't know about all of that.
Which actually should be helpful to me because I just bought some candle making supplies. So. Wow, that was a wild tangent, right?
Yep. Well, it happens.
Yeah, it does. And that's the kind of the point of the whole thing then, isn't it? Really, right? We're talking about stuff that we are in our comfort zone, right? We have an awareness about ourselves where we know we're not the best we can be 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But we do our best to be our best 100% of the time.
Yeah.
And when we're not, it becomes really easy for us to look outside of ourselves and go, well, you're not perfect either. Right. Well, no one is perfect, but you can still be a little bit more kind than that, you know? Now, when we're talking about the other stuff that you guys were talking about today, how the eclipse in Taurus is kind of shaking things up. And we're getting a look at what right now, what is being revealed so that we can finish cleaning that up and then finally move forward again into Aquarius by the beginning of next year, right? So this is all about the imperfections of humanity right now, right? None of us has a high horse to sit on here. None of us.
No.
We're all fallible human beings. All right. Now we have to, in these next couple of weeks, decide for ourselves what are the things that are really not working. What are the things that we have used? It's kind of funny. Krista was talking about that shaking up and the falling off of, pieces and sloughing and that. It felt like, for me, we went to this aquarium in Michigan a few months ago. And in there is this little thing. It's like an old telephone booth. It doesn't look like one, but it's like an old telephone booth where it completely seals up. And then it's supposed to give you the experience of being in a hurricane. Okay. So the winds are whipping up, right? And when Krista was talking about this, I saw a person in that and, like being jostled around and having all of these scales fall off, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of these little bits of, I'll remember that to protect myself, and I'll remember that to protect myself, and all of that being like jiggled off of us.
Yeah.
So that we don't have that armor anymore, that need to protect ourselves from each other anymore. Right?
100%.
And we can walk forward with more hope, more of an open heart, more of an, unconditional love entity, as a being, leading with our heart, right? Going forward, right? Now get this. This is going to blow your mind. All right. Guess what today's card of the day is? The devil.
Yikes.
Yeah. It is all about that monkey trap, that grab it onto that banana and you can't get your hand out of the cage. All right. So the devil right here in this card is here to remind all of us, don't hold on too tight. It's not going to save your life. It's going to kill you. Right. You have to be willing to let go of all of those things that you maybe once did serve you, but no longer serves you. Right. It's like the old story about addicts and addictions, and what you started doing to save your life is now taking your life. Right.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at for all of this, whether on an individual level or a humanity worldwide level, right? Those things that for a while were saving our lives, banking, the design of democracy, all of these things that were saving our lives for a while are now taking our lives away from us.
Also, Gayle, Taurus deals with resources and substance. So food, food also, how, the foods that we eat, are they, full of chemicals? I was listening to a TikTok video the other day, and they were saying that it should take a chicken about 7 years to be fully grown. But within 40 days, it's fully grown because they inject it with hormones, and that hormones goes inside of us when we eat that chicken. Right. So, are we GMOs? What are we eating? Right? Seriously,
we are genetically modified. But don't forget, when you talk about genetically modified, and I'm on board with you with what you're saying, but I want to clarify for people, because there's a difference between, extracting DNA, modifying it, and re-injecting it, right? And splicing things together. For example, what we know as a lemon, right, was once a lime and a citron that the plant was spliced together and created a new fruit. Okay? That makes lemons genetically modified.
Oh, wow.
Exist until then.
I didn't think about that way.
Right? So we got to just be responsible about talking about genetically modified things, that we're actually really just pointing at frankenfoods, stuff that is made up of stuff that is not natural.
Exactly.
And other things that have taken natural things and modified them in such a way to create a new entity.
Well, thank you for that clarification.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Yeah, I used to argue about that all the time. Genetically modified is not bad by itself. It's how we're doing it that's bad.
Yes. Yes.
In some cases.
That's going to be looked at too through that Taurus energy.
Yeah.
Not just banking and money and ownership, but also substance, because that's what Taurus rules.
Yes, absolutely. And a lot of it too has to do with the quality of our lives. All right. Now, 150, 200 years ago, before the Industrial Revolution, people made their living out of their skills. Maybe somebody had built a lumber cutting, area or whatever, that you could fell your logs and bring them there, and they would make boards out of them so you could make your house. Things were more village-ized. You have these craft things that we go to the Renaissance Festival these days and we think, oh, this is so quaint. Well, that was life back then.
Yeah.
We didn't have high-rise office buildings to go sit in formaldehyde cubicles under fluorescent lights to be in one place to work together, right? We didn't
100%
have jobs. We didn't have factories, okay? Yeah. And all of these things that were designed to save our lives, right, are now taking our lives. And right now, like this morning, I read an article from Jamie Dimon, who is the head of JP Morgan Chase, where he's like putting his foot down. We can't do remote work anymore. We can't, this isn't working. You have to come back into the office, and how much pushback that they're getting. We don't want to come in the office. We can do our jobs from here. Why do you need us to come into the office? And there was an intuitive hit that I got right at the end of the article, because he said something, he was quoted about being sucked into Zoom culture. And I thought, that's why he wants everybody in the office. Because when you have a video format or telephonic format that you're trying to make happen what it is that you want to make happen, everything is seen and recorded and can be reviewed again later.
100%.
Does not want recorded evidence of unethical practices.
Very good.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
So again, keep pushing back against that being called back into the office thing.
Yeah.
Right. There is a whole new way of doing business that's actually going to support the individual, right, as a part of community.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Yes, makes a lot of sense.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, my dears. So we have a guest that would like to come in.
Okay.
And it's not often that we do this, but this is a very special guest, and she has been with us from the beginning. Our one of our original Crones, if you will.
One of the originals.
Welcome to the conversation, Miss Joanne. How are you doing today?
Hello, everybody. Hello, I'm doing well. And just a quick brief to how this happened, because I listened to Spirit. Spirit talks to me. Spirit said to me as I was preparing to get my workout going, I hear, you have to go on the 3 Crones today. I'm like, oh, I have to watch the 3 Crones. No, you have to be a guest on the 3 Crones. And I'm like, why? And that was the interesting part. They didn't give me a why. I didn't get a why. I didn't get like, okay, well, you have to go because you got this great announcement that you need to share, or you're going to jump into the conversation that they're all going to be talking. I had no idea to why. And then, of course, when I mentioned it to Gayle, she asked why. She's like, my only reason is, it sounds interesting, but why? I'm like, oh. As I was finishing up my workout, again, I asked Spirit, I was like, okay, so is there a why to this? And all I heard was to play. The 4 of us to play, to come together to play. And I think that's the message here. It's not just for the 4 of us to play, but also with all this energy that we're all talking about and bringing us back into this Pluto retrograde. It's reminding us that we've taken life too damn serious.
Yep.
And that we want to be forgotten to play. So we have to remember that it's important, as much as it is to work, it's also important to play. And what comes from our play can be our creativity.
Very nice.
So,
exactly. Well put.
Wonderful message. Excellent.
Yeah. And I think that's really the whole reason why, because in my head, I'm like, okay, we're going to come on and play. All 4 of us are going to play. When was the last time the 4 of us were together to play?
Yeah. That was like our anniversary in October.
Yes, which was, I think, the anniversary of the show. Yes?
Yeah.
Yep, you did.
But see,
so
the first thing that you contributed was the underwear check.
Yes.
Right? So that was
there
how
you
we
go.
Yes.
Because we haven't done that in a long time, an underwear check.
Yes.
There,
right.
Oh, by the way, if you just have come on, what color are your underwear? Please put it in the comments. Yes, we want to know. We're very curious because we're very nosy. No. Oh, and to answer the question, for those who don't wear underwear, you put commando. No judgment here. We just want to know.
Chris, who asked that question?
I know. I answered. I just thought I'd answer again.
She's like, what if you don't wear any?
That's right. I was going to say flesh, but then again, you could be wearing flesh-toned panties,
Yeah,
it's commando.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Going commando, having freedom.
Having freedom, being free. Yeah, it's kind of like not wearing a bra, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. Yes.
There is that number 5 energy, freedom.
Freedom. There we go.
And that, as Damaris says, that 5 in the freedom, but 5 is also play, which we fun and play.
Well, we gotta be responsible with that play. I just have to let you know.
Huh?
What was that, Damaris? What was that you said, Damaris?
I said we have to be responsible with that play.
Yeah. Oh, yes. We have to definitely get it in because, we can't take life too seriously. And I know for me, I mean, I'm everything I do is serious. So to take that time to play, it's like, oh, okay, I get to play.
Yeah.
And that's important.
It's very interesting. When I first started doing the coaching system that I was trained in 2003, I think it was, 2 of their things is about play and making, these projects into games. And I got really present to the fact that playing was not the thing to do. And I didn't like games, which is very interesting because when I was a kid, all of us kids, there was 5 of us siblings, and we would play Game of Life. We would play Monopoly. We would play, all of these board games. And I loved that.
Yeah.
But when it came to life is serious business, and it is not a game.
I agree with you.
I have evolved since then, and I've gotten a little bit more flexible with you can be serious, but Barry Manilow told me the meaning of life is to have fun. So fuck it if it ain't fun.
That's it. You are to have fun. Okay. Life has its very serious moments.
But I guess we have to define what fun is, though, because some people take it to a whole new level.
So guess what? That's not up to anyone to decide what fun is except yourself.
That's
for
right.
you.
Yes.
Exactly. It is not up to me to place a boundary, a border.
No. And I'm saying it because of also taking life seriously. So sometimes play or fun can turn into something that actually gives us, negative karma back. It depends what we're talking about. What kind of fun is what I'm saying.
Especially for those of us with a Scorpio moon.
Yes.
You gotta just remember it's about making responsible choices.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
Go have fun. Be responsible about the choice that you make. Know that if you're going to ride down a hill on your bike and it fall and you skid out and you get road rash, that was a choice that you made.
Why I was bringing this up was because of that 5 energy. Like 5 energy could be very promiscuous, could be a gambler, could be, overindulgent. And so that's why we have to sort of have a little balance, and we have to be a little responsible on how we play.
Yeah, but that becomes about choice and responsibility.
Yes.
And there's a lot that goes into those, gambling, being promiscuous. That goes down a whole different
If you're an unevolved Scorpio, I think that's what play is.
Hey, I resent that. And I guess I can resemble it too. But no, as a Scorpio,
tell the truth now.
No, truthfully, I knew for me that staying away from gambling was going to be the healthiest thing I could do. Yeah. And I do. Now, every now and again, I'll go play the lotto if for fun, for kicks. But it's like, this is a cap. This is my limit. I'm very responsible about it because, yes, as a Scorpio, you can have a very addictive personality as well.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Going to say.
So,
taking the words out of my mouth.
Because I'm a responsible Scorpio.
Vibrates responsibly.
I vibrate responsibly. I have a sticker that says vibrate responsibly.
Right, and I agree with that sticker.
And remember, you can take it any way you want.
There you go. Welcome, J. Ferg.
Yeah, J. Ferg. That's I have no clue who J. Ferg is. That's
nice.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right.
What was that comment?
Oh, it's black. LOL.
Underwear, because we asked about underwear color. Yep.
Awesome. Well, we have wildly run over our time. So let's kind of kick back in and say congratulations to this week's winner for the Woo Woo giveaway. And that is Cynthia King. Congratulations, Cynthia. Thank you so much for being part of the 3 Crones and the Woo Woo. For you, Cynthia, and for everybody else who may not know what it is that we do, each week we give away a 30-minute reading to any one of us 3 Crones. And so if you pick me, it'll be an intuitive tarot reading. If you pick Miss Krista, it will be a crystal reading. And if you pick Miss Damaris, it will be a numerology reading. And Joanne as well also does readings, but she's not part of the giveaway. So you're going to have to go pay. But Cynthia, reach out to one of us. Let us know who you choose, and we'll get you on the schedule right away. And for anyone who wants to get on any of our schedules, all 4 of us, we all do a number of different services. Reach into our messenger and, say, hey, what do you offer? What do you do? What connects me to you?
That's it.
That was a nice little rhyme. Anyway,
yeah.
Right? So wonderful stuff. Thank you again for being part of 3 Crones in the Woo Woo, Cynthia. And we hope to hear from you real soon. And once again, thank you to everyone who takes a part in making this happen every week, including Miss Joanne, who was one of the founding Crones of the group. And we love you and we miss you. And all of this is, part of something that you created in the world. So thank you very, very much. Also, thank you to Sue with Class Act Imports and my lovely Crone counterparts. I love you ladies dearly. Mwah. All righty. Have a great week, everybody. Take care.